So, guys, another episode of Gold Ball Hunting today. And, I got a little thing I want to talk about here, Jeff. I was just saying that I'm kind of glad that what we're going to talk about today, that I feel like I'm in the minority in this thing. And I'm just I can't quite figure out why more of the guys and the gals don't really embrace the fitness thing. I mean, I think some guys give lip service to it and they kind of do a little bit here, a little bit there. Maybe they work a little bit on, all right, well, I shouldn't have the burger and 2 orders of fries today,
I'm considering that my workout.
Yeah. Or, the stretching thing is, like, a couple arms up and, kind of swing the arms around and kind of do a couple of knee bends and that's it. But I just see so many guys that I play against that I think are really good tennis players. I mean, if you look at there's kind of 5 pillars, I think, right, to build the foundation of someone who is going to be literally in the gold ball hunt in tournaments, or someone who, if you really want to become a league player where you're super consistent, day in and day out, you're playing at the same level, or if you even want to move up. And I just don't see the 5 pillars: stroke technique, tactics, strategy, the mental component, nutrition, and I guess nutrition, and the 5th thing is fitness. So you could say there are 4. Yeah, I guess you could put fitness and nutrition together, but I just don't see enough work being put in by these guys who I think are good, and I think fitness is a strategy.
Totally.
So
totally.
What am I not doing enough of to inspire players out there? Because I really feel like I'm in a minority, and even some of the guys I see, and I ask them, so what are you doing off the court, man? And they go, oh, well, I do this and I do this. I go, well, how often? Well, it's kind of been a while. And I go, okay, all right, see you later.
Yeah.
So what do I need to do, Jeff,
to
fire up these guys, to take what they already have, which is stroke technique? They've already got good strokes. There's stuff in the toolbox. Right. But to me, the tactics and strategies only go so far, and then once the fitness component is exhausted in that match, what do you got?
Right. You got nothing. I mean, because if you're fit, that's another. I don't want to say strategy, but it's another element, another facet of your game that you can rely on. That, today the racket feels like a fishing net in my hand, and the shoes feel like lead weights. But you know what? I'm just gonna hustle on every ball and shove every ball back up the middle of the court and just see how this turns out, because I'm here. And so if you have the fitness, you can mentally kind of move yourself into that because you don't care. I'm fine. Okay, I'll be out here for another hour and a half. I'm okay. And let's see if we can extend the end of this match, make it a little farther away. And at some point is, how much gas does this guy have in the tank? Let's see.
That's right.
That becomes the strategy then.
Yeah.
But so, and the other thing, when you're fit, it just automatically elevates your confidence in your strokes. I mean, it just automatically, you feel like your spacing's a little better because your movement, you're feeling, let's say, energetic to move and prep and feel that, because that just, you all of a sudden you see the result of having that energy and that stamina to prepare early, get the feet going, get a good platform, be able to hold your balance and strike a ball like that. And it just feels good. And so it's like, hey, I'd like to do that again and again and again and again. So, the fitness component is just, well, like you said, enough players don't understand how much it can elevate their game without actually hitting a ball. We've talked about that, but like you're asking, how do I light the fire under my fellow,
Well, look,
guys
I
out
mean, I
there?
think a lot of guys play a lot of tennis, right? I think they spend a lot of
Right.
time on the court, and there's no question that playing sets and maybe drilling a little here and there obviously is not only part of the plan to become a better player, but you can look at some of the on-court stuff as part of the
Yeah.
fitness component. But you just mentioned the word spacing. If you're not super fit, then at the very top levels, you cannot continue to
Right.
create with your feet the spacing that you need to be able to execute the shots that maybe you're drilling in practice. And I think fitness at the end of a match, you still have some clarity. I mean, there's some mental clarity that you get. And, confidence is one thing, but the clarity in terms of maybe you need to shift a little bit in terms of tactics and strategies. Maybe there's a hair change you need to make there in terms of shot patterns and what you're going to do. And if you don't have that fitness, I just don't think that. I think that the mind wants to go into all these different voices that
Right.
just kind of muddle what's
Right.
going on
Well,
out there.
it's easier once you feel like, you're tired. I mean, it's really easy then to go into storytelling mode because you're tired and,
Right.
your body's saying, Brenny, we don't want to be here anymore. Like if your body's saying that to you,
Right.
that's a
Yeah.
toughie.
Yeah, look at the guys up on the
Yeah.
deck. I mean, the barbecue, you can smell the barbecue. God dang it.
Yeah.
And you can see the keg of beer up there, and they're all having a great time. They're laughing and and
Yeah.
so well, look, guys, I don't know what to do other than just to say get your ass out there and put some time in the gym and don't do stuff that's not related to tennis. You don't need to be doing heavy weights. You don't need to go out and run long distance. You need to do anything that will help you
Anything.
visually track a tennis ball better. That's the way that I look at it. Well, what can I do today to really enhance my ability to watch a moving tennis ball? And I
Yeah.
can't do that if I'm out there doing long distance running. I can't do it if I'm doing it with heavy
Right.
weights. And so blah blah blah.
Well, it's funny. You mentioned earlier today that you were listening to some Tim Ferriss for some inspiration. Well, I was actually listening this morning to a 10-minute on with the James Clear,
Yeah,
Atomic Habits.
yeah, yeah.
So a little 10-minute blip on his stuff, and what are you doing that actually changes the visual on the habit you want to create, right? So, as he was talking, it was like, you don't need to lose weight. You need to change your eating habits. That's what you need to do, right?
Right.
It's not about the weight. It's that
Right.
if you change your eating
Right.
habits, then the weight is a byproduct of the eating habit, right? So what are you doing to actually alter the current habits that you have, right? So, like he talked about, he didn't floss enough, so he made sure because the floss was always in the drawer in the back of the drawer. He brushed his teeth twice a day, but he wasn't flossing, right?
Right.
So he just simply got a little glass dish, put it on the next to the sink, and put the floss in it. So now he finishes brushing, the floss is there. It's a visual. I see it.
Yep.
I mean, I do the same things when the night before, and I know that there's maybe a lot going on. I'm going to get on a plane or blah blah blah. So what I do the night before, because I want to sleep. I want to get a few hours of good sleep before the next travel day or something. And so I'll climb into bed and all of a sudden I'll go, oh, I'll remember that. And I'll sit there and be thinking about it, go, don't be stupid. And I'll get up out of bed and I'll either write the note or move my phone, the wallet, the keys on the kitchen table in a certain, I mean, it sounds like very, obsessive compulsive, but it's really not. It's just, I want to be able to go from that moment and go back to bed and actually sleep, knowing that I put all these things in my way that I'm going to have to step over to go out the door almost.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So I think, for the fitness aspect of it, what are you doing? Is there something you can do visually that will then cause you to, actually create a new habit? So it could be, if you have a long driveway, or maybe the front steps to your home is 15 steps, right? Or you can go in the garage and it's a different way in and you don't have those 15 steps. I don't know. But so stop when you put your car away in the garage, instead of taking the other way in, go outside and go up through the front door and take the 15 steps.
Right.
And force yourself to take those 15 steps up the stairs that day.
Yeah.
Or back,
Right.
I mean, I used to have my dad when I was at junior college at Kenyatta. We had to, as one of our pre-team, like everybody on the team had to be able to do this. We had to be able to run 2 miles in 12 minutes. That's running. That's not jogging. That's running. I mean, when you try to lay down a 6-minute mile, let me tell you. So anyway, so I hate running like that. It's just, for me, it's just, I don't want to do it. I don't want to, so what I had my dad do is that my dad would come home from work and I would have him drive me down to the freeway, because we lived 2 miles west of Highway 280 in Palo Alto, right? So we were up in the hills. So, and it was literally exactly 2 miles from the freeway to our house, right, up in the hills. So I would have him drive me before he got out of the car. I would get in. He would drive me back down to the freeway and drop me off.
And then
I had to run home. So anyway, I think, it's a way for everybody to get, to change the habit and to create a new discipline is the key. The motivation, we all want to be more fit. Everybody says it, everybody gives it lip service, like you said. But I think, unless you're actually doing something to move the habit of not doing it, because there's something there that's tempting you to grab the beer and sit down and watch the news, or whatever the little routine is when we come home, or whatever it is we're battling. You got to somehow physically set up the environment differently to force yourself initially to do it until the new habit can take hold.
Yeah, no, I mean, I told you before we started recording that, yesterday, which was the first day after the tournament, where I played 4 singles matches and 3 doubles matches, not a big deal, but it would be easy for me to justify in my mind, what, let's just take a day off. Let's just do nothing. Let's kind of rest. But I didn't feel like I'd really kind of exhausted myself, right? So the night before, I just set out all my workout clothes so that I didn't have, it was already there. It's right there in front of you, right? You wake up in the morning, here are the workout clothes. You go you go to the bathroom and here are the workout clothes, right? And you get up and here are the workout clothes.
Right.
And it's kind of like, and everything's laid out. And I told myself the day before, it would be good prep for me, because I got the Nationals coming up here in a couple of weeks. All I can really control are really kind of 2 things. Number 1 is my preparation, and is my attitude, right? So, and part of preparation is the attitude, right? And so I just said, you know what? I'm going over to the club today. I'm not going to play tennis today, but I did my stationary, cycle that you and I have talked about. I, afterwards got off the bike after about, it's 22 minutes and 30 seconds. I run the hill up there behind, or the pathway up there by the Claremont Hotel, do 4 sets of that, do the sprints behind the club, and then come in and start working on some core stuff, and then about 20 minutes of stretching. And you know what? I mean, I wasn't tired. I wasn't sore. I felt great. And I just thought, at one point during the stretching session, I'm looking out at some of the other younger matches being played, and I'm looking at a couple guys just going, this guy's a good player, but he could be so much better.
Right.
If I could fire him up.
Right.
If I could just get inside this guy's head and say, man, and I think sometimes the habit that you're describing, which is brilliant, and again, a reference to James Clear and Atomic Habits, guys, if you haven't bought that book, you're really missing out. It's a great book. But where was I going with this thought? I know what it was, is that make your fitness, yes, about your tennis, but make your fitness really about a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that, maybe you're injured, maybe you got hurt in tennis, and you got a knee, or you got something, and or shoulder, and you got to take some, a week or 2 off. Okay, but that doesn't give you a reason. That doesn't give you carte blanche to go, well, now I'm going to do nothing. No, there's lots of other stuff you can do
Right.
around that injury. So anyway, all right. Anything else? Anything else
No,
I can do? What else can I do, Jeff? Besides, I don't know what to fire up guys, gals. Let's get out there.
Well, I think
man.
it's what we do here is we're this side of coaching is how many different ways can you say something? For I'm sure there's at least one listener out there who has jumped into the fitness thing. I'm sure there's at least one because you or I said it in the way that actually resonated with them. So we'll just keep banging the drum, saying it differently, and at some point someone's going to go, hey, but you know what? It all comes down to this. It's never a good idea until it's your idea.
That's true. That is true. Oh, man.
So there you go.
All right. Well, listen, guys, if you want to talk about fitness and what you might be able to do, let's jump on a free private 10-minute coaching call. We can take you to the next level. Come on. This is just easy stuff, but you got to get to work on it. The way to get on that call, go over to goldballhunting.com, first name, email address, click the button, and you'll get access to our online calendar scheduler where you can cherry pick a date and time that works best for you. If you're already on our email list, dude, come on. There's a link there in any email you get from us. Click. Boom. You're on the calendar. Schedule a time. Let's get rolling. Jeff, what do we want the fine folks to do at this moment right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below.
Guys, get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day, and do a little fitness thing today too. Just start the habit. What the heck? Jeff, let's try and do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.